How do digital rubrics foster student self-assessment? Have you ever wondered how digital rubrics can change the way students assess their own work? Let's break it down and see how these tools can really make a difference in the classroom. First, a digital rubric is an assessment tool that outlines specific criteria and performance levels for assignments. When these rubrics are digitized, they become interactive and accessible through educational technology platforms. This means students can easily reference them while working on their assignments. One of the main ways digital rubrics support self-assessment is by clarifying expectations. They clearly communicate what is required for each part of an assignment. This transparency helps students understand how their work will be evaluated and what quality looks like at different performance levels. Next, digital rubrics guide reflection. By comparing their work to the rubric criteria, students can reflect it on their performance more objectively. This process encourages metacognition, which is thinking about one's own learning. This is essential for developing self-assessment skills. Digital rubrics also encourage ownership of learning. When students assess their own work using these tools, they take greater responsibility for their learning. This active involvement increases motivation and engagement, as students see assessment as part of their learning journey rather than just a final judgment. Another benefit is that digital rubrics provide consistent feedback. They offer standardized criteria that reduce ambiguity. Students can use the rubric language to give themselves feedback and prepare for revisions, which can lead to improved work quality. Sharing digital rubrics with students opens opportunities for conversations about assessment standards and expectations. This shared understanding helps students internalize quality standards and develop their evaluative judgment. Involving students in creating or customizing digital rubrics can deepen their understanding of assessment criteria. This co-creation encourages students to use their own language and examples, making the rubric more meaningful and accessible. Digital rubrics are available anytime and can be integrated into learning management systems or applications. This access allows students to self-assess during drafting stages, not just after submission, supporting continuous improvement. While self-assessment requires guidance initially, digital rubrics can eventually reduce grading time by helping students identify errors and make revisions before submitting final work. For practical applications, educators can embed digital rubrics within assignments so students can self-assess before submission. Regularly using rubric-based self-assessment builds students' evaluative skills over time. Offering training or mini-lessons on how to use rubrics effectively for self-assessment can also be beneficial. Encouraging peer assessment alongside self-assessment helps develop critical reviewing skills. Involving students in rubric design increases their understanding and buy-in. Digital rubrics provide a clear, structured, and accessible way for students to evaluate their own learning. They support reflective practice, motivation, and skill development, making them practical tools in digital teaching strategies that integrate assessment and feedback.